Greetings to one and all. My name is Shivam Singh and I am going to present a seminar on thermal bridging. The seminar will consist of following topic: heat flow basics, introduction, examples, identifying, classification, magnitude of impact, effects, ways to reduce, major findings and summary. Heat flow basics. First, there are basically three modes of heat flow: conduction, convection, and radiation. Conduction: the transfer of energy across the system boundary due to the temperature difference by mechanism of intermolecular interaction. Second, convection: the transfer of energy across a system boundary due to the temperature difference by the combined mechanism of intermolecular interaction and bulk transport. Third, radiation: heat transfer involves the transfer of heat by electromagnetic radiation that arises due to the temperature of the body. Rate of flow basically depends on 4 points. First is cross sectional area of the material, conductivity of the material, temperature difference or gradient, mode of heat flow. Why do we control heat flow? First is occupant comfort, energy saving, control surface and interstitial condensation, save duct and heating plant cost. Introduction. The thermal bridging occurs in building envelopes when the material with high thermal conductivity, such as steel, timber, and concrete, create pathways for heat loss that bypass thermal insulation. When these poor insulating material provide an uninterrupted short circuit between the interior and exterior of the building, the thermal bridge can result in accelerated heat loss through that area, localized cold spots on the interior of the wall that may cause a risk of condensation. Thermal bridge, also called cold bridge, is an area of building construction which has a significantly higher heat transfer than the surrounding material. This is typically where there is either a break in insulation, less insulation, or the insulation is penetrated by an element with a higher thermal conductivity. The conductive material creates a path for least resistance of heat. Thermal bridging can be a major source of energy loss in homes and buildings, loading leading to higher utility bills. This effect is most significant in cold climates during winter when the indoor outdoor temperature is greatest. Thermal bridging can also occur in building envelopes when the gaps or breaks in insulation envelope create pathways for heat loss that bypass thermal insulation. Reduced or missing insulation can allow warm air inside air make contact with cold external surfaces. This bypass of insulation will also cause accelerated heat loss through that area and localized cold spots on the interior. Example of thermal bridge. Balcony is a very huge example of thermal bridge, as the floor slab seen in the diagram, which connects the internal and external of the balcony. It transfers the heat, causing thermal bridge. There are many more examples of thermal bridge. For example, brick wall lintel, wall, slab or ground junction, window wall junction, steel pillar, studs, sills integrated in building elements. Thermal free bridge construction. Be conscious of the use and type of exterior framing members. Avoid metal fasteners of any kind that span the entire wall assembly. Design your basement wall so that it is better protected against moisture and water damage. Leave metal stud cavities on exterior walls empty. Identifying thermal bridge. Thermal bridges can be identified with infrared thermal imaging. Infrared thermal imaging allows the proper measurement from both inside and out of your household. When looking from outside, you will see the bridges are as the areas of high temperature shown red, while when looking from the inside out, they would appear as areas of lower temperature shown blue. Classification of thermal bridges. First, repeating thermal bridges, which are usually evenly distributed over the building envelope and follow a regular path. These are most likely to occur in insulated cold pitched roofs at ceiling joints and insulated suspended timber floor at ground floor joint. Timber frame construction, steel wall ties in masonry walls or mortar joint in inner wall leaves. Second, non-repeating linear thermal bridges. They are most commonly caused by discontinuities in the building envelope and can appear around openings such as windows and door openings, around loft hatches, roof lights, internal walls and floor junction. Third, geometrical thermal bridge. They depend on the structure shape and can appear as two-dimensional or three-dimensional, usually occurring at external wall corners and at junctions including window and walls or doors and wall junction, wall and roof junction, wall and floor junction or adjacent wall junctions. Magnitude of impact of thermal bridging depends on number of factors. The type of structural material, wood, steel, concrete, masonry, the details used to interface or interconnect assemblies or make component attachments to the structure, location of insulation material on or within the assembly, the thermal characteristics of element penetrating insulation layer, and the continuity of heat flow path. Effects of thermal bridges. First, increase heat transfer through thermal bridges. The consequence of heat loss through normal thermal bridge should be explicitly quantified both in terms of energy and money. Also, it is important to explain the calculation of heat loss and the fact that thermal bridge value increases with increasing insulation thickness of the material surrounding the thermal bridge. Second, low surface temperature. This can lead to local condensation or eventually local blackening on inside surface. Another consequence is reduced thermal comfort such as cold floors or cold downright. Low temperature inside the construction. This may lead to material stresses due to temperature variation and possibly also interstitial condensation with resulting moisture damage. Ways to reduce thermal bridging in the main structure of the floor, wall, ceilings, etc. Reduce the overall area of thermal bridge penetrating the insulation envelope. If possible, this can be done by moving part of thermal bridge so that there is no that it is no longer in contact with the warm air inside the room. Second, if possible, change the construction detail to eliminate the thermal bridge. It can be done by reducing the depth of the nogging so it does not fully penetrate the insulation layer. Ensure full conductivity of insulation. For this, we have to make sure insulation is fitted tightly against all timber surfaces. That is, make sure that there is no gap in insulation envelope. When thermal bridge occurs around doors and windows. In other cases, bridging can occur around openings in insulation envelope. This thermal bridging does not occur at constant interval, so cannot easily be calculated as a part of individual wall, roof, etc. Treatment of this type of thermal bridging varies in different cases. In some cases, all thermal bridging around opening are grouped together as one major contributor of heat loss from the building. In such cases, an approximate heat loss factor is used to estimate the relevant heat loss. Major finding. Impact of thermal bridging vary widely due to differences in detailing, insulation placement and material used. Second, stainless steel fasteners appear to have much greater beneficial effect for concrete masonry and steel substrates than for wood. Stainless steel has 3 times lower thermal conductivity than carbon steel. Wood framing disrupts the heat flow path better than steel or concrete masonry. Thus, the impact of reducing the thermal conductivity of the fastener material is less significant but not always negligible. Third, connection detail or devices that disrupt the thermal pathway have a significant impact. Example, brick tie with hinge joint between the beamer and substrate. Metal penetration point bridging occur on walls with or without exterior continuous insulation. Thermal transmittance for fasteners that penetrate continuous insulation are generally larger. It should be considered to ensure equitable treatment of thermal impacts for different methods of insulating various assembly types. Summary: energy loss through side walls of home accounts to nearly 35% of total energy loss, more than windows 10%, door 15%, foundation 15%, and even roof 25%. Thank you.